One of our favorites is joining us now, national correspondent for Real America's Voice, host of Law and Border. Brand new episode coming out. Let's talk to Ben Bergquam, who's with us from sunny Arkansas. Hey, Ben, how are you, sir? Welcome.
I'm doing well. Thank you, Jeff. Yeah, actually, next episode actually coming out tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern, so it'll be a good one.
All right, give us a preview, Ben.
Well, it's the difference, light versus darkness, night and day difference between Joe Biden's border insecurity, inviting the invasion into our country, and President Trump stopping it. And we had the opportunity to ride with Border Patrol. By the way, we weren't allowed to ride with Border Patrol for 4 years under Joe Biden because basically they were turned into an Uber service for the cartels. And now we have all access. So I was down there outside of El Paso, Texas, Sunland Park, New Mexico, was given full access down to an area where the cartels were operating at will for 4 years, and now they've secured that area. Got to ride with Borstar and chase some illegals and catch some illegals, and so it was action-packed for sure.
Awesome. So how much of a difference as far as numbers, Ben? I've looked at some numbers that say the border's almost shut down. Give us an overview if you could.
Well, just a perfect illustration. You'll hear this tonight on the episode, a little sneak preview. So that sector, the El Paso sector, when I was there under Joe Biden, and I went there multiple times, we did some night ops and went after, I was cutting down ladders that the cartels had. There were sections, 20-mile sections outside of Santa Teresa Border Patrol Station that were totally unmanned by Border Patrol. They were all being used to process the fake asylum seekers. And you had thousands of illegals coming through every single night. The runners, not just the illegals that were giving themselves up, claiming fake asylum. You had the runners that were trying to escape Border Patrol, thousands every single day. In that sector alone, last year, they were having about 2,500 people, up to 5,000 when you include the gotaways, coming through every single day, just in that sector, the El Paso Border Patrol sector. Now it's under 100. So from 2,500 to under 100. You're talking a exponential decrease in the illegal crossings. The big problem right now, Jeff, and you'll see this in our upcoming episodes and actually in our previous episode, is what ICE is having to do. The biggest issue we have right now is now we have to get rid of the 20 million illegals Joe Biden let in, and that's the hardest part.
And one more thing about the border, and then I want to talk to you about ICE, because I love the fact I think the military is now involved. And, of course, more border wall is being constructed, and there's border wall money in this big, beautiful bill. So all of that is a very positive thing, and I think it's just fantastic that we've had just a night and day difference, as you point out. So ICE, we talked earlier about all these protesters trying to impede the work of ICE. That's a real dangerous situation. They want to dox these people. They want their masks to be removed. They want to bring harm to these agents. So fill us in, Ben, on how bad this is.
Yeah, we have traitors. That our biggest threat in America right now aren't the enemies from without, although there are many enemies, foreign adversaries that want to do America harm. It's the enemies within our own nation, within our own government. We have politicians who hate this country. We have communists in our government. We have jihadists in our government. And we have this sector of our population that has been taught up to hate our country from, being taught communism. These groups that call themselves Antifa, and they call themselves anti-fascist when in reality they're what they claim to oppose. They are fascist. And now they have combined. There's this unholy alliance between communists, jihadists, and now 15 million illegals. And so what you see going on, these protests against ICE aren't even so much against ICE, which is ironic because ICE is going after the worst first. So they're going after the worst criminals. That shows you who the Democrats want to protect. And by the way, this is the base of the Democrat Party. When you see these protests going on, it's the base of the Democrat Party. They want to protect the worst. And so that's who these guys are out there attacking. They're attacking ICE, trying to deport the worst in our own society. These guys don't want to deport anyone, but really it's about undermining American sovereignty and about undermining America's rule of law. And we better get a grip on it really fast, or this nation, even though we took back the White House, this nation is in dire circumstances.
Well, and I think the numbers here, who knows, right? I know Yale did a study back in 2018 that said 22 million were here. We talked about 20 million coming in when Biden was president. Ben, how many illegals are in this country?
I think conservatively you could say 40. I think it wouldn't be a stretch to say 50. And so, again, you're
Okay.
talking about 1/6 of our population are potentially here illegally. It's a huge, huge number. And then the big question becomes how many of those are gang terrorists, are part of MS-13 or Barrio 18 or the Solis cartel out of Venezuela? How many of those are actual terrorists, jihadist terrorists that we know were let in under Joe Biden? Just conservatively, you're probably talking about tens of thousands that are adversaries to America that were brought in on top of the adversaries that we already have in our own country. So everything that we're seeing right now, to all the American people, this is just the beginning of the battle to save our country.
Right.
And if you're not involved in that, if you're not standing up for President Trump, if you're not standing up against the rhinos that are trying to block President Trump on the Republican side and against the traitors on the Democrat side, you're part of the problem.
Right.
And this is it's going to get worse before it gets better, unfortunately.
Just look at what they did for Kilargo Garcia. I mean, just look at how they treated him like some kind of a hero. And then, of course, he's now been brought back. Additional charges have been leveled against him. This is a guy who is a true criminal, a real threat, and someone that I would have liked to have seen just stay in El Salvador. But now he's back with additional charges. We got about a minute. What do you make of that whole controversy, Ben?
Well, it's a perfect illustration of the two sides of America right now. You have the America First contingent of this country, which thankfully we're a part of. Our network's a part of the network, or the people that want to put God, family, and country first. And then you have the other side that want to put the devil and communism and other foreign countries first. And you see that it's a biblical definition of having scales over your eyes, where they've replaced the truth with the lie. And that's who we're battling right now. We have it's good versus evil, light versus darkness, and there is anybody who would want to protect a criminal, illegal alien at the expense of American citizens is not pro-America, and they're not good for this country. And that is the battle that we face in this country, and those are the people that have to be defeated. Not just the gang members that they're trying to bring back, but the actual people that are supporting that. That's the battle we have in our country.
And that seems to be the Democrat Party. I mean, the vast majority of elected officials who are Democrats are in that camp, Ben. And that's a scary thing. So,
Thank you,
all
Jeff.
right, my friend.
I think I may have lost audio,
Great work.
but I appreciate you.